Street Fighter 6, a game near and dear to me, as it's been my most played games of 2023 and 2024 without really having to think too hard about it. And with my coming out in this past week, I thought there'd be no better time to talk about it. With that said, I'm, I guess, a little more than a casual. I don't really compete. I don't enter tourneys. I don't really do any of that stuff. It's not my thing. I just like to play ranked, go against other people. But so saying that, or I want to say that rather, because I'm not here to really say if she's tournament viable or like if her matchups go this way or how many of them are in her favor. That's not my lane. I'll leave that to the others. Also, I don't really think it's like accurate as of right now to like speak on any of that. But that being said, year two up until this point has been kind of lackluster, I'd say. And I think that's just because of Bison. Like, I don't think Bison's cool, and I kind of hate you if you play Bison. But I liked Terry, at least. But that huge drought that we went through from Terry to her has been really hollow. With that being said, let's get to the girl of the hour, if you will. And how do I feel about her? She really doesn't disappoint. I think she's been the most fun character they've added since they started putting out DLC for the game. And the wait was almost worth it. 4 months was pretty long, but she's so fun. Everything she does, it like feels good whether or not it actually is. The pressure her fans can put on people is fun to do, even if it's a wonky fireball that kind of loses to every other one. Her DP is also a little funky, but I think that just might be a me problem. I'm used to anti-airing with crouching heavy punch or whatever. So DPs is kind of new to me, I guess. Also, maybe it's just because I use the light, or my instinct is to use the light version of it instead of heavy. But my one big gripe, I guess, with her would be there's no like real string or easy way to get level 1 out and get stocks and start doing the stuff she can really do, unless you're in the corner doing target combo. But if you do manage to get her super off, using all them stocks, the buffed specials, chaining them together, driving them into the corner, feels super good. Her corner care is really good too. In all the My Doodles I've played, I feel like one poke from me or the other person, and then a reset, and then grab, and I'm just in the corner. It- you know, she moves you there so fast, but bringing up her level 1, I kind of think it's a little not worth it sometimes for me. Like, I'm not technical enough, I'm willing to admit that, to like get the most out of her stocks. So most of the times I'd rather just hold on to my meter and then just completely cash out into level 3. That's just a me thing. So altogether, even if she may be a little underpowered, and that's just speculative, I think she kind of steals the show of year 2 so far. Terry was fun, for a little, and Bison, ugh. Yeah, but here's hoping Elena's also really good. She's the reason I got the whole pass to begin with, because we're finally getting a character from 3 game that takes place after 3, which is kind of crazy, you ask me, but that's for another thing. And I know I'm a little late, but I kind of wanted to talk about how, or like the way they've managed content releases for this game post launch, especially since they put out that statement and kind of like what I thought it means or like what it could possibly mean. All right, let me just read out the statement before saying anything. I fear that's only fair. So the statement reads, "Thank you very much for all the support in playing Street Fighter 6. The team is working hard on delivering new experiences, and we would like to inform you about some upcoming content plans. We've seen the request from the community and would like to share that we've been working on new Fighting Ground character outfits since last year. However, please know it's difficult for us to release every character outfit at once due to the amount of time it takes to develop them. We plan on releasing them gradually starting this summer." Regarding future passes, we have been reassessing their contents and the frequency of their release, and will be making changes starting in year 3, with the goal of increasing the amount of items within each fighting pass that can be used in Fighting Ground. Rest assured, we will continue to put our best efforts into ongoing development and service operations of Street Fighter 6. Thank you so much for your continued support. Sincerely, the Street Fighter 6 development team. I do apologize if this does come off as a little snarky, but it seems like they're getting rid of their self-imposed obligation for one costume to be made for every single character before releasing them. That, to my knowledge, that's not how it was done in Street Fighter 4 or 5. So it's kind of weird they did this with 6, but it's nice to see that they're moving on from that. I don't think there's an issue with putting putting them out in waves, like a constant nice flow of characters or costumes rather being pumped out, which I think works fine, you know? Maybe a banger outfit for like Marisa comes out and that's who I pick up and start playing, you know, or actually keep playing because I have played her a little bit, but you know, it's just one specific instance. You know, it's nice to see that like they're finally listening, or not finally, but you know what I mean. Maybe you know that slanderous Ultima take is all it took. And then like another quickie little observation I saw is it sounds like some form of customization is coming to the game, which is cool. I kind of sound not excited for it, but you know, I'm fine with it. I think it's a neat addition. It's just a little weird considering they're doing full-on costumes instead of like all-out customization. So maybe it's little trinkets or little mini items that you can just add on top of the character. I don't really know how that would work. I'm not like oh, this is a nothing burger. This is absolutely nothing, but you know, if that's what it is, I think that's fun. I think that's fine. Why not? Okay, with that out of the way, I have one other gripe with the game I want to talk about, and it's the most difficult to talk about because really only time and good decisions are gonna fix it, and that's the roster. And there's like two big reasons I say this, but the more important one is that if you don't have a world warrior that you're really attached to or you really like, or you pick one up and you don't get them or any of them, you're kind of fishing for one of the newcomers or Mai and Terry to really be your main or the one you have the most fun with. But beyond that, my kind of like my biggest beef is, man, this is the game after 3, and we're waiting until the end of year 2 for the first 3 character to be added into the game, which I think sucks, but it is what it is, and we're finally getting one. Although I won't lie, I'm kind of scared it's like a here, damn, kind of pick with Elena, but you know, we'll see. It's like for me, it's gotten to the point where I just want like a year, like an entire year devoted to like 3 characters, like characters from 3, or like Alpha 3 characters, or Alpha as a whole. Like put some of the weirdos, the ones who haven't gotten a lot of love back in the game. Like it's really annoying, and I say that because it's just what it is, you know. I think Aki's really cool. I think Aki and Mai so far have been like really cool additions, but everything else has just been kind of meh. And that sucks, you know. Characters are like the thing with fighting games, like the big deal. So yeah. But with that said, since year 2 is ending soon-ish, you know, it's gonna be a few months before Elena gets here. I want to do some guesses, you know, throwing darts on the board with my year 3 predictions. And with that said, I'm gonna do like 3 different versions. Like the first one will be like my most realistic. I say that with heavy air quotes because you know, like what is really realistic. A second one would be like if I were in charge, here's like what I would do with the 4 roster slots, and then the last one will be my dream world, like what I would pick. But yeah, so let's get with that first one. Alright, so the first character for the realistic one is Vega. I'm not crazy about Vega. I just got done talking about how it's nothing but World Warriors, and to be honest, I don't think we're done with Street Fighter 2 characters just yet. I don't think he's the worst one they could pick, but he's nothing special to me. But it's a nice middle ground from the characters from two to pick.
Right.
And then the reason why I find it so hard to like claim this one to be realistic at all is because the next character, the big money maker, or one of the two big money makers, would be Dudley. Dudley's my boxer, bro. I don't like Balrog, I'm gonna be honest. That's why. And I don't care for Ed, but Dudley, that's my dude. You wanna get people to buy the pass or just spend more money in the game? Put Dudley in the game. Dudley's a banger choice. And he's from 3, so I'd be all for it. Put Dudley in the game. Okay, and then with this one, this is where things get a little weird. I'd pick Minot, and that's because, well, so I've never played Street Fighter 5, so I don't know like her standing amongst the fans and what have you. But Six has been doing this thing where like they've been resuscitating or like reinventing characters from 5. Started with Luke. I know Luke wasn't all that popular in season or in Street Fighter 5, but everyone loved him come launch time of 6, and then even Rashid, or at least I think Rashid looks so much cooler now than his 5 design and what have you. And even Aki, like she feels like a redo of Fang, like a reinvention of him. And also they just completely redesigned him in World Tour and made him infinitely cooler. But yeah, it having a 5 character seems to fit a trend they're doing and what I would be following too. Okay, so this you gotta go out of the bang with the last one, and this is by far the most unrealistic. But I'd pick Crimson Viper, Sea Viper, because I don't think Dudley can really carry Vega and Manat. Again, I don't know how many Manat and Vega shooters there are, but in my world, my eyes, there's not that many. So yeah, and she hasn't been in a game for a while, and I'm not a Viper fan. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care how big and awesome or fat her boobies are. I played 4 when I was a little kid, and I thought her big braid was stupid and looked stupid. But I know she's a fan favorite, and I think it would make sense to bring her back. She's already been mentioned in Jury's story, so why not put her here? Before moving on, my last kind of thoughts on this and why I called it realistic was for some in my guts just like screaming at me. My spider sense is like alarming me that Vega's probably gonna be in there next year. Maybe it's the doomer in me, but I just think another Street Fighter 2 character's on the way. And Manat. It's not just Vega. I think Manat has a really good chance because with the whole like Street Fighter 5 thing, it feels like they are making Street Fighter 6 a home for all the characters they liked and kind of didn't do as well as they anticipated or kind of flopped a little, but that's just what I see and like how I'm feeling. So I would like I'd put money on those two being in the next pass. There's what I would do personally if I was finalizing the decisions for Capcom in year 3. A little like mix of what I want and kind of being lame. And to start, I know I got done ragging Street Fighter 2 characters, but if I'm picking one, it's gotta be Sagat, baby. Sagat's so sick in my years growing up. I've kind of learned to love him. And if I gotta pick someone from 2, it's gotta be him. So Sagat's gonna be the first character for sure. And then the second character for the pass is probably my favorite Street Fighter 4 original character, Hakan. It's either him or Jury, and Jury's already in the game, so I don't, put another grappler in the game. What's the harm? I'd be all for it. And if he's like he's my Sagat if Crimson Viper was my Vega in that last one, where she's whatever. I'm not super excited about it, but Hakan, ooh, I just wanna just let me slide around, again, grabbing people. I think he'd be a banger pick for the game. All right, so this is just kind of like the Street Fighter 4 pass because the next one I would pick, honestly, is Poison, and she's been on a bit of a run. She debuted in a version of 4, she made it into 5, and I really think she fits Sf6, like the whole aesthetic it's going for and whatnot. And she'd be really in place. Whereas like I think it's kind of funny Akuma, or like how Akuma is in that game, because everyone's living their best life, Shadowloo's destroyed or whatnot, and then Akuma's just like fucking demon rage, bitch, and anyway, I'm getting off topic, but yeah, I don't know, just poison makes sense to me. I feel like you drop her in there and it's like, yeah, yeah, we get it. Who could I possibly pick for the last one in this pass or this guess? It'd just be Sakura. I feel like she's super popular. She's not crazy, but I don't know. Give her respect. I think a lot of people would buy a pass by her specifically. Even it just makes sense. I know she's been around for a really long time. Debuting in Alpha 2, but she adds youth to the roster, and I need a Shoto man. Like I don't like any of them in this game. I think Akuma feels gross. I don't like Ryu, and Ken's been my boy ever since I like played Street Fighter 2 on the SNES as like a hand-me-down. But I don't even like him in that game either. So yeah, but let's Sakura in the game, man. Let's do it. One on. I don't really have any closing remarks for this one. I feel like this is a perfectly average pass, and you'd probably get a lot of people hyped from a con, and then the rest maybe not. But I feel like there's a good balance to it. But moving on to what I would do, I would never criticize Capcom again if they put these characters in the game, let alone like not even in 1 year, man. Just drip feed me them, and I'll be so happy. And obviously, like the first character, Sean. Sean, save the Street Fighter 6 roster. He's so cool. They keep edging us, man. With Laura being in 5 and her being his sister, and then him cameoing in Guile's ending, I think, of the arcade mode, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we've seen enough, buddy. Put him in the game. Let us eat. I want Sean so bad, dude. I wasn't kidding about, like, give me 3 characters, because put Makoto in the game too, bro. She's so sick. She's badass. And, like, a tank in this game with Drive Rush and all that, I think would be really cool and unique. I know I really haven't been given reasonings. It's just put insert character in the game, but oh my god, dude, bro, please, Makoto would be badass. All right, and then this one's it's not fair, man, that she's in 5. Please put Karin back in the game, dude. She's my go-to in Alpha 3, and I don't really like Alpha 3 that much, and I'm devastated that she is stuck in 5. She's probably like my most wanted besides Sean. Elena was there too, but I can't believe she made it in, and maybe that was like all my luck being pulled up for that pick. But put Karin back in the game, dude. I'd be so happy. All right, and then for the final one, probably be Rainbow Mika. If not for Manon, really, she'd probably be my favorite grappler in the entire franchise, and another character who is in Alpha 3 and 5. So please, man, please, please bring her back. I don't really bug with grapplers like that. At least in 6, like Manon. Manon was my first main and stuff, but even I got bored of her, and oh my god, dude. Like let me try and learn a Mika. But anyways, those are just my thoughts on year 3 and guesses for year 3 in terms of characters. And I have just one more big greedy statement to make before heading out, which is beyond when costumes come out and how frequently they do, or like any one specific character's making it in a year, I do kind of hope we get a 5th character, because I'm pretty sure it's intentional. There's always just like a period, like a section of the year where there's just nothing. Like I know this year I think it was especially bad because they were trying stuff with Maya and having problems making her work the way they wanted to. But man, that wait from Terry in September to Mai in February, it was crazy. And even last year, what was it? It was Aki in like August, September, and then Ed in maybe January, February too. I do think that's intentional is because the way it's structured is you get the last two characters of a year and then the first two characters of the next year all in one calendar year. I said year a lot, but I hope that makes sense and you get it. But like a fifth character would go so hard, and like and then a quick little like rundown on the guesses for a fifth character. The realistic one, Vega, Dudley, Minot, Sea Viper, and Sakura. I feel like Sakura is bland enough that like she could get added there. And then what I would do would be Sagat, Hakan, Poison, Sakura, and then Falk. You gotta add another five character, and I don't really see another one. And then my dream would be Sean, Makoto, Karin, Rainbow Mika, and then believe it or not, I kind of want a newcomer. Six has got to make its own identity and brand. It can't just be all three and alpha characters put in it. I'll put a little responsibility. I think a newcomer would be cool, but yeah, that's all I got to say, man. All right, and then you know me, classic black screen outro where I say the same things over and over again because I mean them. If you watched a minute, a second, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole video, clicked on it, clicked off of it. Thanks, man. I mean, I'm glad I made something interesting enough for you to try. I'm really happy about that, and whatever comes next, I'll see you there. I don't think I got anything cooking up. Maybe I'll make a Final Fantasy video because I'm probably gonna play my first one for the first time. That or like the same thing with Monster Hunter. I'm kind of blanking on ideas until City of the Wolves comes out. That'll be my first SNK game I play, and also I'm excited for it. But thank you so much. If you're even hearing this, let me thank you again. You know how it is. I'll see you then.